Thank you, Father Whitlock, Father Becker, Reverend Fathers, all of our honored guests, especially Jacob Bennett, and my brothers. Tonight, I have the privilege of honoring Father John Bauer as my priest hero. For those of you who don't know, Father John Bauer is a priest of the Archdiocese here who served on staff at SJV. I don't know when he started, but his last year was last academic year, and that year he spent on staff in Rome. First time I met Father Bauer was my new man year here, and anyone who's met Father Bauer would attest that the first thing you know about him is his humility. When I came to SJV, I didn't really know what humility was, but I knew that Father Bauer had it. He wasn't my spiritual director or formator or anything, but through little brief encounters in the hallways or in the lobby, he always made me feel loved, like what I said mattered, and that he wanted to talk to me. And now I can recognize that it was from that place of humility in his heart that he was able to live into the reality that Christ was in me, and he was encountering Christ in me. My second year, Father Bauer became my spiritual director, and throughout that year, the Lord blessed me through Father Bauer in many ways. But one particular way that he blessed me through Father Bauer was through Father Bauer's witness and example of living in the love of the Father. Earlier last semester, Ben Warner gave his priest hero talk also on Father Bauer, and he also highlighted how Father Bauer lived out the reality of being in the Father's loving gaze. Ben pointed out how Father Bauer used to always say that living in the Father's love is like staying in your chair in the chapel, and how Father Bauer never left his chair in the chapel. And I just want to reiterate that again because it's so true. It just exuded from Father Bauer that he was always in the Father's loving gaze. The fall semester of my junior year, I went to Rome, and Father Bauer also went to Rome on staff there. And ask any of the guys who were there that semester, it was a beautiful gift, but throughout that semester, it also presented a lot of challenges to us. And for those of us who did encounter suffering throughout that semester, we were really able to rally around Father Bauer because of the example that he lived. Through his example, he taught us how to remain in the Father's love while still receiving that suffering so that the Lord could work on our hearts in the way that he needed to. And without Father Bauer, I would not have made it through that semester. But what's really convicted me that Father Bauer is my priest hero has been the times I've been able to go and visit him at his current assignment as pastor of Immaculate Heart of Mary in Minnetonka. Anytime I'm able to visit with Father Bauer, his face just lights up with joy when he talks about just the little things about being a parish priest. Whether it's visiting the kids in the school, or ministering to the sick or the dying, or the sacraments, or even administrative stuff, his face just lights up with that joy. Through those encounters with him at the parish, it's also convicted me that Father Bauer is a man who has his priorities in order. Those priorities are two. First, as I mentioned, to live in the Father's love, and secondly, to love his flock with the Sacred Heart of Jesus. And what more could you ask for from a priest? I'm incredibly grateful for Father Bauer and all that he's been for me in my life. Aside from my family and one other person, no one else has walked with me through so many graces, joys, sufferings, challenges, and changes in my life. So in thanksgiving for the gift of priesthood, and in a particular way, in thanksgiving for the gift of the priesthood of Father Bauer, praise be Jesus Christ. Amen.